my question for you is, in a lot of these projects, we always deal with zoning. We're always looking at all that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of movements that I see from the public side, from the people in city government to make changes. We have these new future land use, the comprehensive maps, all of this.
Yeah.
But it doesn't seem to be solving the issue. I feel like we're still going with developers back and forth on zoning and all of that.
Yeah.
Have you thought about this, or do you have any ideas? Do you have anything of this would make the process simpler?
Yeah.
Is there anything you would like to see on that
Oh,
side?
100%. So let me get straight what you're asking. Also, I just want to make sure. So what you're saying on the public and private side, dealing with, technically the private or public is the government, right? So the government owns all the land. Period. Let's just be clear on everything. So anything that you pay taxes on, technically you don't own.
Yeah.
Because the minute
still paying for it.
Yeah, the minute you think you own it is the minute don't pay your taxes and see how quickly you figure out you don't own that because they're going to take it from you. It doesn't matter if you have a mortgage because taxes supersede that. And then the other thing is what I've learned is we have to have a relationship. They need us and we need them. At the end of the day, they're never going to develop. And when they do, they're always over budget because they don't care. At the end, it's like there's no incentive for the public, which is the government, to actually do a good job and save money because there's no incentive for the person at all. There's incentive to us, but also we have a huge risk because it could go sideways. And so how we solve it, I believe, is sometimes it's okay to go back into history rather than creating a history. So if you go back into history in the 1900s, how did they actually develop? So you know how they did so the amount of permits that needed to get pulled back then was, here's my blueprint, which sometimes people drew, like hand drawn, right? Here's my blueprint. They would approve it. You would do a little site survey, and then you would just build. And you would tell them, hey, this is what I finished, and they would approve it, right? Like literally, and those homes still stand till today. Now you have a permitting process that is not fun to go through, right? And it actually questions, why am I even doing this, right? Because any project, even a simple house, is going to take anywhere from simply from a year to 2 years to build. And it's not the building, it's the paperwork to get approval for it. So to me, in my head, is number one, downgrade a lot of how these inspections and permits are going. Like, it's just ridiculous. Go 100% virtual. Stop doing it the other way. The other thing is streamline the process. If a blueprint is approved from an architect who's a licensed architect, then just literally he should be able to say, if he is qualified with the building department, whatever he says, you're good. He's not going to miss it. He's already licensed. Like, the guy who's actually checking the blueprints is not a licensed architect. Because if they were, they wouldn't be working for the government. Impact fees right now in Northwest Lakeland, in an area that nobody wants to go. I'm the only one building right now, some modern properties because I believe in the future. The impact fees are more than what I pay for the land. $26,000 for impact fees in land that was going over there for less than 20. And impact fees you have to pay up front before you start. And the connection fee to water and wastewater is $3,000. So you're into it before you even start for 29 grand. Why is it that we have 1,000 employees for a small county, but we're not using modern technology? And then most of these employees are mini monopolies, meaning they're all making six figures or more. There's over 200 people that make $100,000 or more in Polk County alone, right? That's a good chunk. And then when you ask them what they do, a lot of them don't do much. A lot of it doesn't take much. But because it's in there so deep, it's difficult. So to me, that's what I would do. I would like what they're doing at Doge right now, Department of Government Efficiency. I think we need that in every small government. Stop raising the taxes. Stop raising impact fees. Stop. The only reason why they raise it is because they're not sitting down and saying, hey, how do I smartly actually decrease costs and increase happiness? Because to me, the government, the only job you got is to make the people in your area happy.
It should be.
It's
supposed to be.
Yeah. So anyway, that's my long term. So go ahead. What comes up for you here in that?
What happens is, with a lot of your saying, we're already used to this system where costs don't go down anymore. We're used to it, and they already have us where things only go up.
Yeah.
And
Which
so
is
they don't get
ridiculous.
rid of stuff. They just keep adding to stuff.
Exactly.
So that's where it's really difficult. Now, you did make a very good point, as in, he's a licensed architect, he's a licensed engineer, he should know.
Yeah.
And it's true, but it isn't. It's one of those things. And the reason why, at least how I see it, is because of how separated it is, how difficult it is, how many different organizations and entities there are, how many agencies we have to present to. Because this is the thing. Any normal development, we are not only talking with one agency, we're talking with several. We're talking with sometimes the city, the county, the water management district, the health department, Army Corps. It's really a list of agencies that don't talk to each other, but we have to somehow, fulfill all the requirements at once. And that's what's really difficult. So you'd say, okay, the architect engineer, he should know that it's 3 feet separation here. But what's hard for the engineers is that they have to, for each and every project, we have to go in through all these codes, where the code for Polk County itself is totally different from the code to City of Lakeland. So you might be working 3 blocks apart, but totally different requirements for each. So, it's hard to be able to always have exactly,
I
your
agree with you.
requirements
I
set
think
up.
even that needs to be more streamlined. Like, it can't.
Exactly.
It can't. Look, I look at it like this. How damn difficult is this? We have been building for 2,000 years. We have been living in America. Like, America's been a society with property since 1800s. Okay, since 1900s, we've been building homes. Like, people back then would go on the Sears catalog, order your home. It would be shipped to you in horse and carriage, right? And you would build it with the blueprint, and literally the process was just streamlined. And it was simple. And those homes actually last longer than the new homes right now.
So, and I live in a 100-year home, so I agree.
Yeah,
but my
which
thing
I
is,
love those. Just FYI, like, to me, they're epic.
No, but this is the thing, and I want to say this was, I may be mistaken here, but it's probably Thomas Jefferson or something like that back then at one point said, all right, we have all this land, we're going to divide it by the mile, we create the public surveying system, and here you go. There's land all over America, right?
Yeah.
But today, somehow, we're in this system where you are 10 minutes down the road from, Mulberry or just South Lakeland, and you have totally different regulations to where we are right now.
100%.
So those are things that, for me, there's a disconnect, and metropolitan areas at least, or, somewhat of regional locations have to be a little bit more, as you're saying, maybe streamlined, but also just say, all right, we're doing it like this in this area. So, you can buy something, throughout Lakeland, throughout Polk County, and understand what you're building.